the big thing that I found when I first came here was as well, when somebody asked me to audition, I was like, I've never done that in my life. I've been gigging my whole life, really, if I'm honest, since I can remember. I think I done my first gig ever when I was about 13, so I was really young. But me as a musician, pop, rock, anything really that I need to play, I'll play it. So yeah.
I think that I tell the musicians, never piss off the sound guy, never piss off the photographer.
Yeah, absolutely. Never ever, because they can ruin your whole night. Let's be honest, they definitely can ruin your whole night. It was always a hobby initially. I was always too young to have a job, so it was like, okay, it's a hobby. Like, I was getting paid for it, but it was almost like every time someone booked me, I was like, yes, I've got another job, or I've got another gig. Let's put it in air quotes, plan.
Okay.
But for me, I post kind of a whatever I want, to be honest. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a job still. I love it too much to call it a job. A lot of people say I love my job, but I do. I genuinely do love it. You'll probably be able to tell that if you ever watch me live as well. A lot of people were like, that's crazy. Never do that. Don't ever do that. To start getting more gigs, almost be putting yourself out there, but try and make yourself have an artist identity.
Okay.
So like, and it done 3,000 plays or 4,000 plays, and I'm like, why is people watching this?
All right, Robby, welcome to the show. Finally.
Thanks for having us.
We've been discussing for a long time about sitting down.
We have.
Yeah, then finally we matched our schedules and then sat down. Yeah,
we
and
did.
then again, firstly, shout out to the Thompson Music. They're our new venue partners. All these cool guitars, all these sound equipments, everything. Very supportive.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be here recording almost every week, new guests. So yeah, big shout out to them. And we got cool guitars as well for anyone to try out.
We do indeed. I've tried one out myself when I came in.
Yeah. But yeah, very cool, very expensive ones. I would have to take out my tabby to afford one. Let's see. But yeah, anyway, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for coming down for a chat. There's a lot that I want to know. The podcast is built upon my curiosity. I always say to take out information or to learn from others.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's got different experiences, different places, different type of experiences. So there's always something to learn.
Yep.
So yeah, before we jump into anything, tell us who is Robby as a musician? How would you describe yourself?
How would I describe myself?
Yeah.
I would probably describe myself as, so I'm 27. I'm from Scotland. I've been in Dubai for almost 4 years now. I've been gigging my whole life, really, if I'm honest, since I can remember. I think I done my first gig ever when I was about 13, so I was really young.
I think Mikey, his first gig was also when he was 13.
Yeah, I think I seen that actually on Mikey's video. So I was 13. Believe it or not, I didn't always play the guitar. I used to sing with backing tracks a lot, and then I got into listening to music a lot more and listening to musicians, and I was like, okay, I think I can do this. Okay. So I got a guitar, started. I'm self-taught on the guitar, so you'll probably be able to tell that if you ever watch me live as well. But I think musicians, and me as a musician, I've always been obsessed with being on stage, if I'm honest. I just love the feeling of, you can either make someone's night, regardless of how I feel. That person that's sitting in front of the stage, when they ask you to play a song, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know if they're having a good day, a bad day, or if there's somewhere in between. Yeah. So I think for me as a musician, one of the best things about being a musician is you can literally cheer anybody up or do something for someone on the night where they might go away thinking that was amazing. Like they asked for that song and they played it for me, or I don't know. I think, but me as a musician, pop, rock, anything really that I need to play, I'll play it. So yeah.
That's you. So you first a singer and then a guitarist, right?
Yes.
You would consider yourself a singer first.
Yes.
So did you always wanted to be a professional earning musician, or music was just a hobby at first?
I think I knew pretty early on when I was younger that I wanted to be on stage quite frequently. Okay. But I would say that it was always a hobby initially. I was always too young to have a job, so it was like, okay, it's a hobby. Like I was getting paid for it, but it was almost like I loved it so much that I would have done it for free. And then I was like, right, okay, I actually think I could earn at this. I think I could make this my full-time job. A lot of people were like, that's crazy. Never
Right.
do that. Don't ever do that. Like
Right.
being a musician full time's it's a hard job, and it's never guaranteed that you're going to be earning money.
Yeah, we still hear that, right?
Every week you
Yeah.
hear that, but it's worked out pretty well for most of us.
Yeah.
We love doing it. We make money doing it, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a job. Still,
Yeah.
I love it too much to call it a job. A lot of people say I love my job,
Yeah.
but I do. I
Yeah.
genuinely do love it. Yeah.
That's we all do. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. The first when was the first time that you got paid for a gig?
So initially when I started, I think I done quite a lot of like charity events
Yeah.
and things like that, which was to get my name out there, but also to give back, because a lot of these charities were people who were coming to support me at gigs. Whether I was getting paid or whether I wasn't getting paid, they were there to support me, and almost your day ones.
Right.
So I think I was 14 or 15 maybe when I
Okay.
started to get paid, and
Right.
but when you're 14 or 15 and someone's paying you, regardless of the amount they're paying you, it just feels great to be
Yes.
appreciated
Yes.
on what you're doing.
Yeah. Very. So before you got paid, how many gigs would you have, or how much time would you have spent playing for free?
So I always say, playing for free, I done a lot when I was younger, because I wanted to, but I almost looked at it as if I was a tradesperson. If you were doing an apprenticeship, you're basically working for very little to learn the trade.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important as a musician as well, like to learn the trade. You need to be able to adapt in situations where it's really busy, it's very quiet, certain types of music. So for me, I done a lot of unpaid work initially, but I wouldn't say it was too long that I was like, right, okay, now I need to start getting paid.
Right.
Maybe for 6 months to a year.
Okay.
I done a lot of charity work, maybe a few little gigs thrown in with some money. But overall, I think maybe 6 months to a year
6 months.
I done playing.
Was it your decision to go only paid, or it eventually, on its own, became only a paid thing?
I think I realised quickly, as I said, I wanted to be on stage.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, a lot of these people who are doing this are getting paid.
Yeah.
So I want to be in that position where I can make a little bit of a living from this. And as I said, it became a job really quickly,
Yeah.
but not a job that I loathed going to.
Yeah.
More so a job that every time someone booked me, I was like, yes,
Yeah.
I've got another job, or I've got another gig. And I was doing a lot when I was really young. I used to finish school on a Friday and then gigged from Friday through to Sunday and back to school on Monday. But that's the life of being a musician. It's almost like you're constantly on the road gigging.
That's true. That's true. The about the free gigs, I think that's because I had the same conversation with, I think, the episode with Ibi about doing the free gigs, because now because we all get paid for gigs.
Yeah.
And then there are new musicians who's coming into the scene, and then there is also this group of musicians, or this group of people who don't think that they should be doing free gigs because they sing good, they want to get paid from day one. But there is also the other side of things, as you said, like when you get into the craft, you need to learn the craft.
Yeah.
You need to be good at it.
Yeah.
So it's as you said, it's that point where you realize, like, okay, now it's time for me to only do paid gigs. For me, I think it was 2018 or 2019. So all throughout 2018, I did free gigs, a lot of free gigs, a bunch of free gigs, and then 2018, I got offered my first contract. Even then, I still did free gigs after that.
Yeah.
And then it went to 2019 Ramadan, where it's a season break. That's when I decided, okay, now this is going to. So by 2018 December, I was like, okay, I have around 5 to 6 months till Ramadan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take up anything that I can.
Yeah.
And then by Ramadan, I'm gonna stop all the free gigs. So this is my time to explore the industry.
Yeah.
Know the price ranges, how to charge myself, and then also learn the craft.
Yeah.
How to be on the stage, because it's not essentially just the singing part. There's
Yeah.
a lot more to performing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of showmanship involved in being a musician as well. As I said, it's probably one of the jobs where no matter how we feel as an artist, if you're having the worst day in the world,
Yeah.
you're expected to leave that at the door or at the side of the stage, flick that switch, and you're getting paid to be there and to entertain
Yeah.
anybody that's in front of you, whether that be you've had a brief of songs that they want to hear,
Right.
whether people are coming up with requests, which when I look at your social media, a lot of people give you requests.
Yes.
There's got to be an adaptation as the artist that can go, okay, I don't really like that song, but these guests, there's maybe 15 guests sitting and they love the song.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to go, okay, I'm going to play that as well.
Yeah.
And and not loathe playing it, almost get into it and enjoy playing
Yes,
it because they want you to enjoy playing
Yeah.
it and they want to enjoy listening. So I think in terms of the free gig situation, I think anybody who's just starting out, there's almost got to be that bit of you that goes, okay, I would rather not be doing it for free, but I know that the experience and everything else involved in doing it for free is
Yeah.
going to create a different artist path for me. It's going to create somewhere where I know now I can do that.
Yeah.
I've learned it.
Yeah.
I've adapted to different surroundings, and now I'm ready to get paid.
Right.
I think that's important to
Yeah.
learn the trade for sure.
True. The apart from the musical talent or skills that we have, as you said, the showmanship, and plus what I have for me, what I have realized, because I came from an open mic background. So
Yeah.
in the open mic, you do the songs that you really feel, right?
Yeah.
It's not exactly entertaining, but even if the sad song that you really feel, you do the sad song.
Yeah.
So I keep telling this same story because when I got my first residency in downtown, very first day, I was very nervous. I still have
Yeah.
that photo. I was nervous. I did my first set, second set, and then after the second set, I was taking a break, and the lady comes up to me and asks, "Can you do at least some happy songs?"
Yeah.
That was like a hit on the head. That okay, you need to. It's not essentially what you like to play.
Yeah.
As you said, it's more of what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So the set list, how do you craft the set list? How do you entertain the crowd? And all of these are important. I'll ask you. So on top of these skills, like definitely we need to know how to sing. We
Yeah.
need to know the chords and stuff. We need to know how
Yeah.
to play guitar or backing tracks, anything. So leaving apart the music part of things, what other skills do you think really helped you? As in, even if the business side of
Yeah.
gigs or stuff.
I think being a driven individual is almost up there with the top. Like, if you don't have the drive to always be learning, to be better, and to stay on top of the craft, you will be left behind. Like, I actually told this story I'm vocal coaching a little bit, so I was vocal coaching one of my friends, and his dad actually said to me, like, so what more can we do to keep getting better? So I always tell the story to anybody that asks and wants to listen to it. When I was younger, my drive to be the best was when I finished school, or when I wasn't out playing with my mates or gaming. I literally finished school at, say, 3:30 and practiced until like 10 p.m. until my dad was shouting upstairs, right, come on, enough's enough, you know.
Right.
So I think being driven and the strive to be better is a massive thing. I think you need to be a driven individual. In terms of the business side, you need to have that want to learn new things. Like, it's all well and good being a great musician and a good singer and want to practice and drive yourself to the next level. However, in this day and age now, you've got other things to contend with, i.e. social media, marketing,
Yes.
which I would say probably above all, marketing and social media now, if you want to be the best, has got to be on point all the time. Like, someone said to me before, you should be posting 3 times a day on TikTok. And I'm like, my life's not as exciting as 3 times a day. But I think then again, you talk about adaptability. You need to just find ways of trying to get better, using social media, using all the things that are put here for to help. So I think driven and stuff, massive. In terms of anything else, I think communication's big. Being able to listen as well, and almost know when to keep your mouth closed, do as you're told, and pick your battles a little bit in terms of what's going on, you know.
Right.
I would say. That's what I would say anyway.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the social media side of things as well. Yeah, before we jump into that, about the marketing. For you as a musician, let's say, because I've seen, how long have you been in Dubai?
Almost 4 years.
4 years now. I've been here for 10 years. And then if I say I'm busy now, it makes sense because it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
But you're one of those musicians who's here for a short period, but you're very busy finding gigs and stuff. So definitely you are good in marketing, or you're good in finding gigs as musician. So what's about the marketing side as a musician in finding gigs? What practically would someone do to get more gigs and be out there?
I think to start getting more gigs, almost be putting yourself out there, but try and make yourself have an artist identity.
Okay.
So like for me, I am a singer guitarist, but you're a singer guitarist as well. So
Yeah.
what makes us different?
Right.
Pick those points. What is your pros and cons? Pick what you're good at and try and work your marketing around that. Things like posting, even just like if you're an original artist,
Right.
you're posting how do you write music, editing your takes, just getting yourself out there really. Let people in to get to know you, because people like that. If they know that you're an artist that loves to play music, but you can hold a crowd of different ethnic groups, or you can play a bit of this and a bit of that,
Yeah.
people cling on to that. And then the first thing I found when I came here as well with marketing was I was putting myself out there looking for gigs. I was very fortunate to get some contacts with entertainment agencies and entertainment managers who really helped me get on my feet initially.
Right.
But after you're on your feet, it's about growth. So I think the big thing that I found when I first came here was as well, when somebody asked me to audition, I was like, I've never done that in my life.
Okay.
Like in Scotland or in London or anywhere like that, we don't really do that. So that was a little bit of a learning curve for me. I was like, I need to go and audition? What do you mean? And it's like, almost if you think about what it would feel if Simon Cowell and his full team were sitting in front of you when you go to that audition, it's very nerve-wracking. It's very...
Yeah, that's true.
It puts you in a position a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But you know you can do the job.
Yeah.
But you don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So I think marketing in that sense as well is you need to be ready to go and do these things, go and showcase yourself. And doing these showcases that come up, open mics are great because there is people sitting there watching, because talent scouts go to these things.
True.
They will look around. But I think just getting yourself out there and having an identity as an artist is massive for marketing.
How do you plan on? Do you actively reach out to people and look for gigs, or?
Initially, when I came here, I did. Again, I've been very fortunate that sometimes people will reach out to me now. I'm looking for something. Can you do this date? Would this suit your abilities or your type of music? So I'm very fortunate now that they come to me. Sometimes I still reach out about things if it's something I really want to do or get involved in. I'll reach out to the booking agent or the talent scout that's doing it or the company that's doing it. So I think I'm fortunate enough that people will reach out to me now, and I can get to do these gigs if I can do them, if I can make them work, and it's manageable for me. I certainly will. But yeah, I think reaching out at the very beginning is massive for sure. Yeah.
So about the social media, how do you plan your social? Do you make plans, or you just put out whatever it is? It's instantaneous.
So on TikTok, TikTok is a nightmare to navigate, because sometimes you can put a video out that you think is going to do amazing and it does 200 plays, and then you put a video out of you burning your mouth with a coffee, which I done on TikTok, and just posted it because I was needing content, and it done 3,000 plays or 4,000 plays, and I'm like, why is people watching this? So I think TikTok and Instagram is very much like, it's consistency. So regardless of what you're posting, obviously you want to try and keep it based around your music content, which I didn't do when I was on TikTok. I was posting everything in my daily life, and music was involved. But I think I don't really plan it now. I tried the plan thing, but I always get myself really flustered and frustrated, because I'm like, I've recorded 15 videos for the next month, and then putting them out every day or 2 a day, and you're like, wow, what is going on here? Like, why am I not getting anybody engaging? So I think it's important to have some sort of, let's put it in air quotes, plan. But for me, I post kind of whatever I want, to be honest. Yeah,
I think we get burnt, because the same thing, I think I go through this phase where for a couple of weeks I'll be like all in, my social media is full of stuff, and then you're like, no, I just need a break, and then for 1 or 2 weeks you just take a step back. I
think that on the social media point though, I think a lot of people really forget how much of a full-time job social media is. Like, especially with the amount of platforms that are on offer now. You're talking that could be me saying to you, okay, you're a social media creator, can I give you 16 hours a week to look after my accounts, because now I think that can become a bit impersonal, especially when you're trying to engage with fans, if you're using someone else, because it's not really how you would react or how you would talk or engage with the fans. However, when you're doing 7 or 8 gigs per week, trying to record the content, trying to write original music and everything, it does become a lot. So you really need to prioritise where your time lies. So sometimes you can be up to 1 or 2 in the morning still editing content, and you're like, and then you get up in the morning and you look at it and you go, this is terrible. Like, why was I editing that? But I think, I don't know, I think you need to really be a bit of a jack of all trades in terms of as a musician, because you need to be able to do a bit of everything. That's important.
Good you talked about the being jack of everything, about all trades. Mainly because you mentioned you studied sound engineering. Yeah. For somebody who's, because there is one thing that I tell the musicians: never piss off the sound guy, never piss off the photographer.
Yeah, absolutely. Never ever, because they can ruin your whole night. Let's be honest, they definitely can ruin your whole night.
So it's over the time I have learned. I've learned that we need to learn at least bits and pieces of sound engineering. How to tweak at least the basic desk. What treble, what does the frequencies and stuff. Since you've studied it properly, how much of it has helped you in speed?
I think in my whole career it's helped me massively, actually, because there's specific venues I've been in all over the world where you go in and the desk's like really small or it's massive. Ultimately they all work the same. No matter how many channels you're using, they all do work the same, especially on an analog desk. So you've got your analog channels. Digital desks are a little bit more tricky to manoeuvre and work your way around. But again, for me, as you just touched on there, knowing the basics definitely has got to be there. Like, for instance, if we go to a venue tomorrow, me and you, and there's no sound engineer, one of us needs to sort the sound out, because there's no one there to do it for you. And if it's getting to a 6 o'clock start and you turn up at 5:30 or 5:30, and there's no sound engineer there, if you don't know your way around the desk, then you're going to need to really, like, you'll be on the phone Googling, how do I plug this in? How do I do this? So I think knowing at least the basics is massive. It's definitely helped me as much as I can say throughout my career, because I have been to venues where some of the equipment's not the greatest, or microphones are not good, or you're doing an event and you turn up and it's a DJ desk instead of a mixing desk. Things like that. If you have no idea, you're already off to a rocky start, because you're sound checking, you think this sounds terrible, the guests are going to hear this. Now, a lot of the time the guests probably wouldn't hear it, but you as an artist, when you're standing there is no worse feeling in the world than having bad sound. It's your whole entire night is ruined, because you're like, that sounds dreadful to me. And if it sounds bad to me, it might not sound bad to the guests, but it's good to be able to have the ability to go over to the desk and go, okay, that's peaking, or needs a little bit more gain, or a little bass, or
I think the DJ's desk thing, I think I have had one gig like that. And also the worst part, I wouldn't say the worst part. I think the weird part is because the audience, not necessarily everybody is a musician. So if it's a sound system, or even if it's the mixing, or even if it's the sound guy, if it's there, if something else is messed up, but you're doing your job, but still it sounds like shit, the people think that you are not a good musician. Right? Ultimately, it's on your head. Yes,
absolutely. I always say it, if someone like sound engineer's like, no, it's fine, and I'm like, man, but it's my name that's up there. My name's up above the stage, and my name's on the screens. So if people have a bad experience on the first time they ever hear you, the likelihood of them coming to see you again is not good. So for me, it could be the smallest venue in the world or the biggest venue in the world. The sound's got to be perfect for me. Like, sound checking is when somebody says, no, we're not doing a sound check, I'm like, no, we are, because it needs to happen for sure.
I think it covers the skills that we talked about. Like, apart from being a musician, a lot of other verticals come into effect when if you want to be a successful busy musician who keeps getting booked. The same thing that we said, like being everything to put together. I think that's one thing where being a person or being a musician who's easy to work with
Yeah.
in every way. Like
Yeah.
he knows a bit of basics. He knows how to do his sound, even if it's not the best way, but he kind of figures out
Yeah.
to treat people good, especially the sound guys, because sometimes you get into this tricky situation where the sound guy is not doing what we are asking him to do, but you still need to be nice to him.
Yeah.
You don't want to shout at him.
Yeah, because if he messes up
Yeah.
your sound based on the fact that you're not being very nice to him
Yeah.
or anything in that way, it doesn't look good for you. And it
Yeah.
also, to be honest, I think you don't really need to be a diva
Yeah.
about it. You can leave that personality pit straight at the door.
Yeah.
I know sometimes people get annoyed,
Yeah.
pissed off, but ultimately they're there to do a job.
Yeah.
We're there to do a job. Everyone's got to come together as a collective, because if they don't, it looks bad from the outside
That's
in.
true. That's
For
true. These
sure.
days I carry my own desk everywhere. 'Cause
Yeah, so they
just
are.
in case.
just to be safe.
Yeah, because as you said, the digital mixers, man, digital desk, I cannot figure that out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's crazy. There is one mix, I don't know which brand it is. So one of the venues I played in, they had this mixer. I never could figure that out because it works out of an app.
Yes.
So on the phone, and then you need to tweak everything on the phone. And I was
Yeah.
like, no. The next day I went and bought the Yamaha desk,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm using this.
So I've actually got a QSC Touch Mix desk,
Okay.
which has the digital desk
Right.
as well. It's not got digital gains, it's got analog gains, but that can also be triggered from the iPad. I don't touch the iPad when I'm doing it, to be fair, because it's
Yeah.
just messy. Especially if I'm on stage. If I was out doing the sound myself, I'd use the iPad. But the Touch Mix is very good. Like I use my Touch Mix sometimes at certain venues and stuff, and it's really good.
Mm-mm.
But again, it is a totally different dynamic to using an analog desk.
Right.
So I think it takes a little bit of getting used to,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. For
Yeah.
any new musicians, I would say just learn a few basics.
Yeah.
Just at least get a small desk to play around with.
Yeah,
at home.
yeah, absolutely.
Learn a few basics, and then also be nice to people.
Yeah.
Piss off anyone.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because agencies, venues, they don't want headaches. They want
No.
somebody who can take care of their space. Just stay back, tension
Yep.
free.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
stress-free, yeah. And about the original music. What's coming? Do you have anything coming? Because you're busy writing.
I am busy writing.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything worth talking about yet, to be fair. But again, that's another point to touch on as an original artist. You'll go through phases where you write 5 or 6 songs and you think, these are shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to release these. But when I do speak to other original artists here and back home, they're like, just release it. Like, not if it's terrible, but if sometimes as an artist, especially when you're writing on your own, you get in your own head.
Yeah, I think there's that element of imposter syndrome that you feel
Absolutely.
like.
Like, I could sit there for 3 hours and write this hook, and I'm like, this sounds great. And then I go downstairs and make myself a coffee and come back out and I go, nah, put that off and start again. But then you go back to it weeks later and you think, that's actually got something in it. So imposter syndrome's definitely a real thing as an artist. You do start to put yourself down a little bit, and almost you start to think, have you got the ability to be an artist, a songwriter? But again, the best artists have been through this and probably still do go through it. So I think it's important, if you do want to go down that road, just keep pushing it. Just keep trying, write as much as possible. I sometimes say like I'm really busy writing, and then other times I'm like, I've not picked up the pen and paper or the guitar for a week because I'm gigging so much. I need to manage my time on that. However, when I do write, I like to try and get full all in. So right now, I am writing. Whether I'm writing things that's going to be next singles or not, I don't know. But again, I'm writing. So it would take one time for that to be like, okay, that's the next single. So I think right now, in terms of original music, I'm just writing as much as possible. I'm trying to do some new sessions with other artists as well, and trying to butt heads with people in terms of like, what do you think of this? Can you help me with this? Do you have anything for that? That's important as well. Try to get a little bit of a working environment with other people.
Right.
So original wise, I'm working on things, but nothing worth noting right now.
You as a musician, what would you consider your strong side? Is it writing lyrics? I mean, writing lines, words, or coming up with tunes or riffs or something? What idea?
So I think I've tried multiple different ways of writing. So I've tried writing a story, like how I was feeling
Yeah.
at that time, then trying to put a hook to that or a little bit of the melody to that. I've also had ideas where I've had chord patterns or little riffs on the guitar. Okay, I'll write to that.
Right.
So I think depending on the mood or how it comes to you, I think that determines how I would write on that particular occasion. But I think basically I would say just write as much as possible. Like sometimes ideas will come to me at night and I'll be like, right, I'm going to voice note that in my phone.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'll write it down if I've got a pad and paper. So I think, just depends on the day.
Yeah.
I know I said there's nothing worth noting, to be fair, but nah, I think I was a bit harsh on myself. I've got the next kind of a couple of singles, I think, ready to go.
Okay.
So they will, I don't know, I've not got any release dates or when they're going to be ready, but I'm working with some people at the minute to produce some stuff and keep being prolific in that regard.
Okay. You're planning singles next, right? Or
yeah.
Okay.
Singles.
Have you ever planned for a full album?
I have never planned actually for a full album as yet, but I did do an EP before when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
But I think the music industry's changed a little bit because it used to be like everybody was excited for the album, which in the case of an Ed Sheeran, a Sabrina Carpenter and a Taylor Swift, that's absolutely, that's always going to be the case.
Yeah,
But as a new artist, an emerging artist, I think sometimes to keep the singles there, when you're pushing a single out maybe every 6 weeks, you keep that engagement up.
Yeah.
If I say to you today, okay, I'm going to give you early release to my album, there it is, and you go in the car now and you listen to it all, you probably think, oh, that's good, or I quite like that. But ultimately when that then becomes a distant memory, you're no longer listening to that anymore.
True.
So I think keeping those singles coming always keeps engagement pretty high.
Yeah. So on the, let's touch about the production, because I think a couple of years back we discussed about the production, because I remember you telling you record it yourself and then send it to somebody to master.
Yeah.
You still doing that, or you completely moved to studio?
So I think a lot of people were doing that. It's hard being here because a lot of producers and stuff, if they're not here, it costs a lot of money to travel.
Yeah.
Studio time costs money. So I think it is pretty good if you can do that. However, there is times where I think as an artist and also the producer's point of view, you do want to be in the room together,
Right.
because there's different ideas come out and the creativity juices are really flowing there. So I think that all came about pretty suddenly when COVID hit. Everyone was doing Skype and Zoom sessions and writing music, and it's great if it can work, and it has worked for me in the past, but there is times where I'm like, I'd rather be in the room so that we can bounce ideas off of each other. You can tell me, what do you think of that vocal run, or I don't like that drum part, or whatever it is. So I think with this next thing, the next kind of few singles, maybe I'll try and get into the studio again rather than doing it from home. But again, it's great to have the ability from now, basically from what we've got now in terms of Skype, social media, the equipment that we can get access to in the house.
That's true.
I mean, you can basically make an album now from your MacBook or a Mac Mini or whatever you're using, anything really, Pro Tools, Logic Pro, and they're also very user friendly. Like, it used to be a case of when you were recording on tape, nobody could do that. You needed to know exactly what you were doing there. But these apps now, these recording softwares now are very user friendly. Like,
that's true.
there's a recording button. It shows your levels. I mean, the editing side of things, like putting compressors on, reverbs, takes a little bit of getting used to. But again, it's not impossible. It used to be pretty hard to do that.
Right.
But now it's a lot more accessible now. So
you're confident that anyone can learn how to produce songs at home?
In terms of production, maybe not produce them to radio ready.
Okay,
I mean, some people could.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, there's absolutely no stopping you if that's what you want to do. It can be done. For me, certainly, I know a little bit about production, but I like to leave that to the full-time producers. That's just the way I am. I could produce a scratch track or a demo track like that, but I like to, when it's going to Spotify, it needs to be top, polished off. So I think, but if that's something that someone's sitting there going, I'd like to try that. By all means, try it. It does change the whole dynamic of being able to record covers even for music, for social media, which again is a better client reach, better engagement for audience. So polishing it off is definitely helps.
Yeah, mainly because the reason that I asked about the question is mainly because in Dubai, if you want to record music in the studio, a song might cost around, let's say, at least 3K for one song.
Yeah.
So because most of the musicians now, we have a lot of young musicians in their early 20s, even teenagers, who are really good in singing and songwriting.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be a realistic amount to put in for music recording.
No, definitely not. And I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head there with that, because studio time's not cheap.
Yeah.
It's actually quite expensive. Now, depending on where you are, obviously in the world,
Yeah.
Dubai is quite an expensive place, as we know. Studio time's expensive. I mean, there'll be certain studios there that maybe are doing a little better rates than that. But again,
I've got quote once for I think 9K for a song. I was like, nope.
That's insane. That's just insane. Like, that's daylight robbery, that is. But again, even back when I was doing my albums and EPs and recording singles in Scotland, it's never been cheap. These people are very good at their craft and they know what their time's worth.
Yeah.
And now, albeit sometimes they give you a price and you're like, no, come on, I'm not paying that.
Yeah.
But recently I seen something that was like, back in the UK, I think for a half day in the studio was £600, but that's just recording. There's no mastering or mixing in that.
On top of that.
So I mean, it starts to add up, especially if you're doing 2 or 3 singles. You can have a big price point on that. So I think for younger artists, emerging artists, even myself still, it's good to be able to do things from home. Yeah.
The recording, I think I kind of figured out how to record in a kind of clean way.
Yeah.
I think so. But again, the roadblock that I always had was the concept of mixing and mastering.
Yeah.
Because I still haven't dived deep into it since, because I think there's a lot of tiny details that you need to tweak in terms of polishing it. Since you know kind of the background of the sounds and stuff, is that something that somebody can learn, the mixing and mastering part, or?
Yeah, absolutely. It can be learned. I think anything can be learned if you're willing to be putting the time in and getting the hours to learn. Absolutely. You have said it right there, though. There is some really small things that nobody would think about unless you were looking for that. But to get that polished sound again, I've never produced and mastered completely for a release. Never. Right. I'll hold my hands up and say that. I have done demos. I have recorded clean vocals for them to be mixed and clean guitars and things like that. But again, there's a chain process. Like a lot of producers have their own vocal chain that they work with. Yeah. Which is like they use that compressor and then they use that reverb and then that correction or whatever it is. But that can vary from producer to producer. True. So I think finding the way that suits you most probably is my advice. Like, if you want to learn it, there's access to online courses, books, YouTube videos, anything really. You can learn it. You can learn it. And you will get there, but it takes... I mean, there's times where I've mixed a cover, for instance, if I'm pushing a cover out, and in my studio speakers it sounds great, and then I put it on the phone to listen, or I go and listen in the car, and I'm like, oh God. Then you need to go back and do it again. It takes time. It's a long process, but it is enjoyable if you like it. That's the difference. Right. If you enjoy it, you'll enjoy doing it.
That's nice. There's one topic I wanted to touch about the vocal exercises and stuff, because I realized it very late. I initially started my residencies in 2018, as I said, and then I was doing lots of gigs back then, like around 5 or 6 gigs a week as a starter. So it was very hard on my throat. Yeah. Like my throat was not used to it. But my throat eventually got used to it, but still I didn't do any vocal warm-ups or vocal exercises. Yeah. And then it got to a point where last year I had the vocal nodule. Yeah. And then I believe you remember as well, I posted on the Instagram as well. So that was a big eye-opener, I would say. So I went to the doctor, and then what he told me actually made sense, that you go to the gym. It's not necessarily that you want to be a bodybuilder, but you need to keep your muscles healthy. The same way goes for the vocal cords. Yeah. Like it's a thing that you need to keep working out. Especially if you're a singer radio host or a teacher,
Yeah.
you use your vocals a lot.
It's your main tool at the end of the day. It's like a joiner or a plumber.
Yeah.
They need a drill. They need something. You need your voice to be earning, to be on the top form.
Yeah. What about you? Do you do any vocal exercises or warm-ups?
I do.
You do.
So I had a little bit of vocal training when I was back in Scotland when I was a lot younger, and that
Right.
was something that was kind of instilled into me. That now there's times where every artist gets lazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't anybody that tells you otherwise is lying.
Yeah.
Because there'll be times where you're rushing from gig to gig, or you're going to a gig that starts at 12 in the afternoon, and you're like, oh God, man, I'm rushing around. And
Right.
you're in the car, and you're like trying to do them in the car, but you're not
Yeah.
really concentrating on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Bigger shows, a lot of artists do it. Even now for me, I will try and do it in the car if I can't do it
Yeah.
beforehand, because a lot of venues don't have a room where you could go in and start
Yeah.
doing vocal warm-ups, and you don't want to be standing in the middle of the pub doing a vocal warm-up, you know. So I think, looking after it and doing the vocal warm-ups, again, there's a lot of access to vocal warm-ups and stuff on TikTok now.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are things, some of them make you feel ridiculous,
Yeah.
but they really help. Like, from even like us today,
Yeah.
if we had done a warm-up here before we started using our voice,
Yeah.
you would hear the difference.
Yes. Very.
But I think, it definitely helps. It improves the vocals, and it keeps them in good condition,
Yeah.
for sure.
I do the same, as in my vocal warm-up are always in the car.
Yeah.
So whenever I drive to the gig, it's definitely more than 15 minutes drive for sure. Any
Yeah.
So I usually use a vocal warm-up on YouTube, which is
Yeah.
15 minutes long.
Yeah.
A male vocal warm-up. So I keep doing that, and then as you rightly said about the difference, I really notice the difference when you do certain songs.
Yes.
So certain songs I used to do like 2 years ago, I used to stress my throat.
Yeah.
And whenever somebody requests that song, I'm like, no, bro.
Yeah, I know why I do that.
Yeah. I don't want to do that, but you still do that because it's one of the. Because I think some of the Bon Jovi songs, I really found I had a hard time doing those before.
Yeah.
But now, since I started after the vocal musical, started the vocal warm-ups, it's gotten easier in terms of how I use my throat. And then I realized I think the perfect way to put that is it opens up your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think even the diaphragm,
Yeah.
like, a lot of people have this. A lot of people sing from their throat,
Yeah. I did that for years.
which most of the time people can't really tell it's affecting them
Yeah.
straight away, but it does. It definitely does affect
It
you.
does, yeah.
The diaphragm is massive. Like, it's a very important muscle. I've been using this technique when I'm teaching vocal stuff right now, actually. The diaphragm was, like, if I sit here and talk to you now and I tighten my diaphragm up, I almost instantly feel that if I had a dry throat or a sore throat, it's not as pushed on the vocal throat here,
Right.
but it's coming from the muscle, from
Yeah.
the diaphragm.
Yeah.
So I think I would say the vocal warm-up is very important, especially in season here, when we are doing, as artists, doing 7-8 gigs a week. Some people are doing up to 10 gigs a week,
Yeah.
which is, let me tell you now, that is a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, if you average on a busy night to do 45 songs a night,
Yeah.
some people are doing 2 or 3 gigs per day.
Yes.
That's a lot of work, especially on the vocal folds and the vocal cords. So you wouldn't, if you weren't doing it properly, you would definitely go home with a sore throat.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
True.
Yeah.
I had the problem with the throat, and as you said, I used to feel very heavy upwards of my throat. Like my head used to feel like exploding by the end of the gig because I was using the throat a lot.
Yeah.
But then after this, I think one of you, I came to watch you in Black Sheep
Yeah.
once. I would have never tried a Teddy Swims song before that. You remember I requested one Teddy Swims.
Yeah.
You did the, I think, Lose Control.
Yeah.
Back then, yeah. I would have never even tried a Teddy Swims songs before because I knew that was very high, and then the way I was singing was from a throat. When I tried at home, no way, because I cannot literally do that.
Yeah.
And then when I watched you singing, you were singing it very, like, it was very cool. Like you're not even stressing yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, how does you do that? And then I realized you're very easy on your throat. Like,
Yeah.
you go easy on your throat, but it's coming from
Yeah.
deep down. And then I think that was when I decided, okay, maybe I should try changing the way I sing.
Yeah.
And then I tried it in a different way. And then now I love doing Teddy Swims.
Yeah. I mean, he's great artist actually. We're going to see him on in November in Coca-Cola. So he's amazing. But I do get exactly where you're coming from. Like, I remember the first time someone said to me, "Can you do a Teddy Swim song?" I was like, "No, nope, I'm not doing that." And then when you start to adapt it to your kind of a sound, it's very enjoyable to sing actually. But I think the other thing, just to touch on that point where you said like very easy on the throat, like it comes from everything though. Like the throat has got to be ready, the stomach, the diaphragm's got to be ready. But see if you're tense when you go on stage and you're tensed up. For instance, that touches on the point if the sound's bad, you're already stressed.
Yeah, that's true.
Which then when you go on stage you're like, and then you need to release. If you don't release, you can tell. Your whole body, like there's times where I've come off stage, it's been busy or tense, or I come off stage, man, I've got sore shoulders, my neck's sore, my back's sore. I still get it now, but not because I'm tense, just because like that happens sometimes. But I think what you said there, every artist picks up on things that, like you, when you watch me, I'll pick up on things when I watch you. So I think everybody picks up their parts where they're like, I'd like to try that. Or I think that's why it's important to also watch other artists. Because it helps you adapt as a songwriter and as a performer.
Very true. Early on, I think in my career, once I started taking paid gigs, that was what I did. I used to go and watch other performers to see what they actually do, because I'm new to this. Like, I don't know what entertaining is like. I know how to sing at home, but being on the stage, making sure everybody's happy and entertained. So I used to go watch. I copied a few songs exactly as it is, how it's done for Khalil. From Dubai Music Khalil. I copied. Even I tell him now about the Radioactive. He has a different way of. He has his own rendition. I copied the exact one for my gig. And a couple of songs from him, and then I keep watching other artists and the way they sing the songs, the songs that they pick to sing, I just pick up from other artists, and then eventually I think you get the hang of doing songs, how to tweak the songs for the crowd.
Absolutely.
I think that was a good learning curve. And talking about other artists, this is one point I really want to touch. The what's the right word? The vulnerable side of being a musician, as in like I've had those stages where I think on my third year or something, I was doing a lot of gigs. But you see other artists doing big events and stuff, and then you feel like, no, why am I not getting that? Let's say for F1, like I think that's one, because initially when the F1, many of my friends were doing F1, I was not able to do that. I mean, I didn't do that. I couldn't do that. I don't think anybody reached out to me, but definitely I was not that great, one thing. But still, you get that feeling like as a musician, why am I not on the main stages? But then you look back, that's when I thought, like when I look back, no, the coming week I have 7 gigs lined up. Like what am I complaining for? So and when somebody's doing those kind of gigs, they might be thinking the other way. Why am I not busy if they are not busy? Why am I not as busy? So I think this happens to you as well, or is just...
Man, that still happens to me. It actually happened to me before I came in. Did I have this conversation? It still happens to me on a weekly basis. Like someone will reach out and they'll be like, pitch you for this or pitch you for that. And someone else gets it and you're like, what's going on? Why am I not getting that? But you've just hit it right on the head. You've got 7 gigs a week. You're living your dream as an artist and a singer and performing every night of the week and enjoying what you're doing. These events will come. Like your time will come. If you believe it's going to come, it will come. I mean, there's hard work involved to get it happening, but it will happen. But again, that goes to imposter syndrome. You're like, he must be better than me, or she must be better than me. And actually, maybe it's not that. Maybe they've been here an extra 2 or 3 years. Maybe they've got another contact, or maybe they've been waiting the 2 or 3 years that they've been here. Maybe this is their first time. Maybe you need to be here for a longer time to do that. Maybe you need to be more well known. Who knows? But again, if you are doing any gigs a week and you're putting yourself out there as an artist, standing on the stage in front of people singing, it's always vulnerable. So I think that hats off to anybody that tries it or is giving it their all or trying to make a career out of it, because I mean, I think it takes a lot a lot to even put yourself out there doing that.
Yeah.
So these events, the big events and stuff, still happens to me.
Yeah.
But they'll happen. They will happen. You push and you work hard and showcase yourself as an artist.
Yeah.
I think it will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one question that because most of us musicians know already, but for the, let's say, new musicians or somebody who's wanting to be a musician, paid full-time musician, what would your answer be if somebody asks you, do you really can earn a good living out of music, only doing music and gigs in Dubai, and how easy would it be? Or
I
how
think
difficult?
I think that all depends on the person as well. Like, if you come to Dubai with a mindset of driving a Ferrari
Yeah.
within your first 2 years, forget it. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a Ferrari is a very common car out here,
Yeah.
and so is a Lamborghini and a G-Wagon, doesn't mean that everyone can afford one. A lot of this stuff that goes on around Dubai in terms of the wealth, there is a lot of wealth in Dubai, but it's not like that as a place. It sometimes gets portrayed as being this very, very, like,
luxury.
yeah, all the time, which it is. However, you make your own way here.
Exactly. Yeah.
For me, I remember having this conversation with my gran, and she said to me, always stay grounded. And that is something I've kind of lived by, if I'm honest. Like, I don't come out here for a lavish lifestyle. I love living in Dubai. I love the opportunities that it's given me to be an artist and things that I've performed at. However, I don't drive a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to be a successful artist making money here and be full time, if you can keep your head screwed on and live within your means, 100% you can do it. We've done it.
Yeah.
Other artists are still doing it. If you come out here and want to be an artist that's doing top flight, 7 or 8 gigs a week, and you're throwing money at a Lamborghini or nights out in the Burj or this, that, and the next thing, it might be a little bit of a shorter stay in Dubai for you. You could maybe still make it happen. I don't know. I've never done it myself. But I would say if you've got your head screwed on and you've got that willingness to really push yourself and work hard, it's definitely achievable. 100%.
I think it comes down to the definition of good life for each. Could be different, but I think recently I have found my happiness in during the first half of the weekends. I was talking to a couple of friends about that, and they can relate to, because the first half of now, every Sunday, my first half is basically waking up, less phone, maybe just put the TV on, put some music on, or just put the TV on, clean home, because I live alone, clean home, do the laundry, do the stuff, just the basic stuff, and that puts me in a very good mood. I think a couple of months back, I decided to just relax a bit, like
reset.
Just to reset, and that actually puts, because you're always being always driven is also stressing, like stressful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to slow down, and then I developed the habit of going to the gym in the morning instead of evening. Wake up in the morning, less phone, go get a coffee, straight to the gym. And that drive, I have learned to enjoy that calm drive. I think good life is not that expensive, like as you said. Like,
no, absolutely not. I think, again, there's pros and cons to social media. One of the cons is you see your neighbour driving a Porsche. Almost to keep up with the Joneses situation, if I'm honest. Dubai, everywhere in the world's like that now. But you're right, good life doesn't need to be expensive. Now, certainly certain things in a good life are expensive. However, you don't need to be spending a fortune all the time to be happy. I mean, I don't know if this is a musician thing, but when we go home and you've got a night off, sometimes I don't want to go out.
Exactly.
I want to just
completely
chill.
Like,
maybe I want to sit in and listen to music, or maybe I want to watch Netflix. Or maybe I'm on my laptop working, but I'm not actually exerting myself to go and see something or go and drink or anything like that. Like, I'm not a big partier anyway.
Same.
So I just like chilled activities is the thing for me.
I think it comes to, for majority of musicians, it comes to that we do entertaining for a living, and then when we have the time off, we just want to just step back and then relax.
I think in that sense, you entertain for a living, so you're entertaining people all week. you then don't want to be entertaining people on your
Yeah.
day off.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that to sound like you don't
Yeah.
want to speak to people. I don't mean
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But what I mean is sometimes it's good to just have that,
Lazy evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
like just put your gym gear on and
Yeah.
just sit on the couch and watch Netflix
Yes.
and try and eat healthy. But that's really hard, obviously.
That's so true. So, two final things before we move on to the last segment. One thing about finding work and stuff. Again, how do you? Because there are two ways we approach things, right? To get engaged, either to venues,
Yeah.
or to the agencies.
Yep.
Because it's a totally different game. If you're going to the venue, that's like direct contract.
Yeah.
And if you're going through the agencies, we need to take account of what they would also make out of it, and then there is one more party involved.
Yeah.
How do you approach these? Like practically, as a musician, do you, for new venues, let's say, if somebody, it's a venue who doesn't know who you
Yeah.
are. So how do you approach that venue? Is it, do you go in person, or do you? I asked the same thing with to I think Mikey as well. How is your process in approaching venues?
Approaching venues, I think there's a lot to be said with an in-person, dropping in and showing face, and that gets your name known, it gets your face known, but it also gets your personality known.
Right.
I think with, like, for instance, if you send me a text message, that could be misconstrued as something else.
Yeah.
Emails can be exactly the same. So I think, and how many times have you received an email and you're like, I'll get back to him today? And then you wait 2 weeks later and you're like, oh my goodness, sorry, I forgot to get back to you. This spot's already been filled. Or so I think in person, if you can do that, if that is what the venue wants and they're willing to accept that, then definitely in person for me. That can vary for everyone, obviously. But in terms of new venues now, I think a lot of venues are probably working with booking agents.
Right. Yeah.
Certain ones that I don't work with agents through, I'm direct for venue. Some ones I'm through agents. It just depends solely on the actual venue themselves. But I think approaching it is almost like, again, it goes back to being the artist that's not a diva and not hard to manage. Like, just be yourself, but be nice.
Yeah.
Because agents, as you say, they don't want a headache.
Yeah.
Venues also don't want a headache.
Yeah.
Venues want you to come in, keep everyone on their seats or dancing on a Friday and a Saturday or a Monday, whatever day, and do your job, and you're nice to everyone, you're approachable.
Yeah.
And so I think for me, if you're going to approach venues and that's what they are directly reaching out for artists to approach them, I would always say to pop in, to be honest. That's just I'm a pretty big talker, so it works for me.
And one more question about the press kit or the reel, let's say the reel. How important and how much have that helped you? And also, what's your ideal promo reel looks like?
So I was terrible for press kits and reels when I first got to Dubai because, again, back in Scotland, we never ever used that. That's where I done most of my shows, but we never used press kits or reels. A lot of word of mouth and a lot of like people from other pubs and other clubs and stuff were in the venue you were playing in, so they'd already seen you live. They didn't need to see it again. So when I first got here, I was using like 15-second clips of different songs and trying to piece them together when I was very bad at editing at the time. So I was like, it took me a while to get it ready. But I think now the press kit is, don't be shy in telling people everything you've done. Like, a press kit is almost like your CV.
Right.
So on a CV, when you get taught to do a CV for a job, everyone's like, put yourself right out there. You've done everything. You're good at this. You're good at that. And that helps because people like to see that. Press kit's pretty much the same, but in an artist's job. So you want to be telling all the good things you've done. You want to be saying, I've played here. I've done this. I've got this amount of streams. I've got this. I think all the information you think they would want to see, don't overthink that. Just put it on there, because everybody wants to see everything like what you've done.
Yes.
And then video wise, I would say the reels are good, like short reels of little covers, originals, whatever it is. But also having like a kind of a showcase of whether that be, if it's a band,
right,
maybe having like a 4-minute video of the band doing, like, we can do this song, we can do this type of music. Everything's edited together. There's various ways you can do things on a higher budget, lower budget, whatever it may be, and whatever you need, basically. So I think on the higher budget end, you maybe have like a room like this that we're in now, full band setup.
Yeah.
It's all been pre-recorded and everything like that. Because ultimately a press kit is pre-recorded songs, video footage, but also don't be shy to put on a live video. Like, let everyone hear what you do live, not in the studio, not pre-recorded.
Right.
Can you do it live? That's also something. If I was certainly a booking agent myself, if I was looking to book someone, I would be looking at can they mirror what they're doing in that video live.
Okay.
So yeah,
makes sense. And the one final thing, you as a musician, how do you see yourself in the next 10-20 years? Are you gonna focus towards the originals in the long term, or are you gonna keep gigging at the venues, or do you have a plan, or you're just gonna figure it out?
I think it's good to have a little bit of a plan. For me, I'd love to be pushing out some more original music. Certainly, maybe doing some support slots. I always said if I was a musician, touring musician, I would be happy playing at like small arenas. Okay. But then someone said, you need to stop saying that. You want to be playing at stadiums.
Right.
So every musician's dream is to sell out a stadium or sell out a world tour. Yeah. So that is always my dream as well. And it sounds a little bit cliche and a little bit cheesy. But of course that's my dream. That's what I've felt was that height. And as a child, I've always dreamed of being on stage to 50, 60,000 people. Of course I have. So I think pushing that for me is big. But I also would never forget the venues that I am still playing in now, because ultimately they've made it possible for me to chase this dream. This sounds very cliche, all this I'm saying, but it's the truth though. I think that keep with the venues, but also manage my time to push out some more originals and see if I can build that artist portfolio and identity that I was kind of speaking about earlier. So let's see where we end up.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, again, thank you so much, man, for being on the show. I'm pretty sure we're gonna sit down again for the upcoming seasons. We split it as seasons, so we're gonna have more seasons coming in.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Because the musicians keep evolving, they keep changing, so we're gonna have updated versions.
I'll probably have a new haircut the next time we sit down, because I change my haircut pretty often, so that's maybe something that will change.
Thank you so much, man, for being on the show.
Thanks for having us, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.